Welcome back to Marketing 100, where Kayle and I are on a mission to share 100 tactics that you can take to level up your salon business. And today is definitely not any different. We're going to talk about getting some freelance support to drive your marketing.
Do a branding contest. What the is a branding contest? This is something that we've done actually at the Salon Business before. I think we might have even talked about them before in a previous video, not in the Marketing 100, but on the Salon Business channel. Get subscribed. A branding contest is a competition where designers submit their work and compete to create branded content for your business. Think of any brand that you can picture their logo, right? They've had somebody create this brand identity for them, essentially, right? Someone designed it. But what's cool about 99 Designs, we'll link them in the description below, you can check them out, is essentially that you can create an idea, you can pick design styles you like, and then submit some information about your business and have designers compete to create a pack that you like, right? Like they'll create logos, they'll create like color palettes, whatever it is you choose to do. And then you can pick the one you like best and buy that, essentially. This is the best possible way for you to really get the most amount of options for your business in a way that you don't have to go out of your way to go find an agency or hire, a particular person. It's a very democratic process that sort of allows you to have as much choice as possible. And I think for a lot of busy salon owners, this is just the best way to go if you want to like rebrand or if you're starting your new business and you actually need all of these things in place so that you can create new flyers or materials or business cards, color palettes and templates for your social media, like whatever it is that you need. This is how you can create those visual assets.
Getting good creative is also about volume in a way, right? Or like seeing options and like seeing alternatives. I think it's easy to kind of like quite early in the process that you get locked in on kind of like one thought. You saw something somewhere and that's kind of like how you're stuck in your mind of like how probably the execution should be. And you're really kind of limiting yourself if you're not opening up and seeing like some different routes, different people showing you different ways that you could be doing this. So I think it's also like a way to, opening up, broadening your mind so that you have the opportunity to be exposed to ways of thinking that you weren't necessarily thinking. So when doing a brief for this, I would also make sure to keep the brief fairly open or like really going into like, okay, so what is the goal with what you're creating here? What is the challenge that you want to overcome? What's the principles behind, your brand that you want to make sure comes across? But like keep it at a fairly high level and not going into like super execution and specifics, right? In order to kind of like open that up and for you to see alternatives and options that you can explore for how this can be brought to life, what it is now that you want to achieve with this particular project, if it's a branding project or if it's some other type of execution that you want someone to work on.
If your branding's getting a little tired or if you feel like you just need to freshen up the look or design of your business's website or social media, or you want to change your logo, or maybe you want to make a new sign for your business and you want to kind of do a little bit of a rebrand, this is a great way to test the waters, find out the options that are out there, see a bunch of different creations from a bunch of different artists, who are professionals, and do all of that without ever having to step outside of the salon. This is the way to really see what all kinds of different artists do and find one that you vibe with, find a style that works for you, or maybe find something you didn't know you liked that really speaks to who your brand is and what you do. This is going to be an investment. It's something that, you got to be prepared to pay for. There's a range, right? You could spend $500, you could spend $1,500. This is something that is going to be an investment for your business. But just like we said before in the previous episode, when we said like, do a media day at your salon, hire a videographer to come in and film interviews with your staff and do things like that. This is something that you make once and it continues to benefit your business for a long period of time, right? This is something that we sort of like to refer to as evergreen because you can use it over and over and over again. It's a digital asset that will pay dividends for you over time. My girlfriend watched our video the other day and she was like, you said pay dividends like 8 times in that video. And I'm like, no, I didn't. And I watched it back and I said it like 6 times. She's like, you should make this a drinking game. Every time Kayle says pay dividends, you have to take a sip.
I like that idea.
Yumi, if you're watching, thank you. We'll have to play that game sometime, but I'll try not to say page tens of million times. But it's true. These are the kinds of things that do that work for your business over time that you can continue to reuse. It's not something that's one-time use or finite. So be prepared to invest in it, but also be prepared to reap some rewards from it.
Freelancer.com is another one that also offers competitions. And there are some other options as well. You can probably Google if you want like some alternatives. It's just 99 Design is what we've used in the past and had some success with, but there are other options out there. I think what's cool with going through this process is also that you're kind of jumping ahead and getting a head start on vetting and finding talent to work with, because this can be quite a cumbersome process if you're going to just like interview different individuals and really trying to explore their work and understanding if they are a good fit for you, and then trying something, it didn't come out fully as I wanted, they're probably not the right ones to work with, I need to move to someone else. That process can be quite cumbersome. I think you, if anyone, Kayle, knows that.
It just takes a lot of time. And I don't think that most salon owners have a lot of time to dedicate to that. At the very least, you're taking Zoom calls or exchanging emails. If it's a local agency, you might be going in. You're going to deal with like revisions and all this stuff. I think what a lot of business owners try to do is they try to make it work, right? Because they don't want to have to go through this again. They'll come in, it's not exactly what they wanted, and they'll try and iterate on it again and again and again. And you end up going through all these revisions and taking all this time for somebody that maybe wasn't right for you in the first place. It's that like sort of sense of you're committed, so you like really need to see it through, when maybe it just wasn't the right fit to begin with. You're going to be limited on the talent that you find locally. And so opening it up to a wider pool of artists and being able to have them compete for you it's such a better way to see options, see what's out there, and find something that actually works, right? Like you're starting from a point that's already better than if you were to just go to an agency blind and say like, this is what I need, can you do this? Of course, they're going to tell you yes, but they may not be what you want in the first place. And you're probably going to try and make it work, even if the first thing that comes out isn't good, because you've already got like this sunk cost fallacy in it where you spent time on it and you got to see it through. That's just not the best way to go about it, in my opinion. I like this way of doing it. 99 Designs, we're not affiliated with them. That's just one that we've used. There's a ton of other options out there. Go Google it. Just look up branding contest. You can find plenty of services that will connect you with artists who will compete for your dollars and give you something that's more likely to be exactly what you want. It's kind of one of those things where if you're even considering, updating your branding, I would start here.
If you are considering updating your branding, we do have a full course where we go deep on brand strategy, brand identity, how to bring that to life, using freelancers, using remote talent, etc. There's like a full course. We'll make sure to link to that here as well if you want to go deeper on that and really get some of the basics and some frameworks and also some formats for like how to brief and how to work with partners, because that's ultimately what we want to get out here as well. When we've found something that we think is good and we're continuing down that path, hopefully that becomes a partnership that we might work with, that freelancer, that agency, also in the long run for like more upcoming projects. Hopefully this turns into really a true win-win where you guys are working together for the foreseeable future and leveling up your marketing, which is what this show is about. The 100 episodes that we're sharing here on the channel. Today, we walked you through how to run a contest, get inspiration from multiple marketing agencies, freelancers, to get some inspo, to jump ahead in that process of finding good talent to work with. I hope you got some good insights from what we shared here today. If you're working on your brand right now, check out the course. We're leaving that link in the description. And let us know in the comments what you think about this, if you find this helpful, if this is something that you want to explore. That's what we had for you today. So we look forward to seeing you inside of an upcoming episode.